Today, Kiefer and I changed cities. We're headed to Playa del Carmen, but have an 8-hour layover in Mexico City. We dropped our bags off at a storage locker. Many airports have these so you can explore without your luggage. We Ubered from the airport to Zocalo CDMX Plaza. There were a bunch of rainbow sail shades in the middle. This area had a lot of concentrated sites. The plaza was bordered by the National Palace and an eagle monument dedicated to the Mexican national. We went to see the ceiling of the Gran Hotel Ciudad de Mexico. The stained glass work was exquisite. Multiple other groups of tourists were sitting in the lobby in awe. We then walked on a very people-focused promenade to the Palacio de Bellas Arts. At this point, we were quite hungry and stopped for french fries and boneless chicken wings as a meal to go. We sat in the park and admired the palace from afar. Once we were done, we got to walk along one of the arteries of the city, Avenue Peu de la Reforma. I had to stop and take a photo in front of the Mexico sign before we made it to the Plaza de la Republica. We kept walking on the La Reforma until we passed the Angel of Independence. From here, we decided to go to a neighborhood around the Parque Mexico, known for its tasty food and enjoyable dog-friendly park. I was pleasantly surprised how lush and green the parks were. It was nice to spend a few minutes wandering through the different maze-like shrubbery, finding dogs at every turn. There was also a surprising amount of fountains throughout the city. The resulting mistings were much needed in the hot sun. Some of the fountain areas looked a little bit low, and some were dry. I'm not sure if that was a cleaning thing or if the water evaporated because of the sun. I sure know I got burnt that day, though. We didn't end up stopping for a long meal, but we did stop at Churreria El Moro Condesa, a famous churro place in the area. In addition to the tasty churros, they had delicious chocolate milkshakes. By this point, we only had about 2 hours left before we needed to head back to the airport. We decided to spend the rest of the day at the Bosque de Chapultepec Park. We first wandered by Chapultepec Castle and started noticing a lot of people with silly monkey hats. I couldn't resist and ended up getting one myself. I was shook when I found out they squirt water from their tails. We kept walking through the park and various vendors were selling things along the paths. We finally made our way over to Chapultepec Lake, and I wanted to go on the paddle boat, but we didn't have any time. Something to look forward to next time. As we kept wandering, we saw some Papantla flyers performing. We then headed across the street to our final stop, the Museo Nacional de Anthropologia. We didn't have time to go inside, but we were able to see some of the pieces outside. The museum is popular for its anthropology, showcasing artifacts as far back as ancient Mayan civilization. We called our Uber back to the airport from here, and it came quite quick. We did end up getting stuck in traffic for an hour. It's always good to have extra buffer so you don't miss your flight. We still had an hour and a half to get our bags and get to the gate. Thanks for joining, and follow for more insights and adventures around the world.